Hi, so this is going to be the last part of 4.3, using substitution to evaluate algebraic expressions. When we're going to evaluate our algebraic expressions, I want you to look right here. It says if A is equal to -5, B is equal to -2, C is equal to 3, and D is equal to 4. If I'm going to ask you to use substitution to evaluate these expressions, I'm going to give you the values for A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, whatever variables they choose to put in the problem. So our first step, we see our first expression, A plus 2B, and remember that means 2 times B, minus C. So what do you think we got to do first? Well, first, I need to substitute our number values in place of every one of the letters that's in the problem. All right, so let's do that. A is -5, and I'm putting parentheses around it to show that it's negative. B is -2, I'm putting parentheses around that, and then C is 3. So that's the way it's going to look when I originally just set up the problem. Now I haven't done any order of operations. All I did was substitute the numerical values in place of the variables, okay? Now once you've done that, then we're going to follow order of operations to complete our problem. So the first thing we do is -5. Can I do anything with that? No, not yet. So let's just write it down. You can keep it in the parentheses or take it out. It really doesn't matter right now. Next I have, this is multiplication, +2 times -2, and that gives me what? A -4. So if you want to write plus -4 and put that in parentheses to show that that's negative, that's quite all right also. Then I have -3 right here, subtract 3. Remember from previous modules, what does subtraction really mean? Subtraction means to add the opposite. So if I want to, I can go ahead and rewrite that. Add the opposite of 3. Well, the opposite of 3 is -3. So therefore now, if I look at this, I have a -4 plus a -5, vice versa, I'm sorry, and then plus a -3. All three of these now have the same sign. They're all negative. So what can I do with that? If they're all negative, what do? Add them. So 5 plus 4 is 9, and then 9 plus 3 makes 12. So the answer is -12. That is my final answer for this one. Not too bad. Okay, so here's our next problem. -3a, which means 3 times a, plus 4c, 4 times c. All of this divided by 2 times b. So what do I need to do first? Substitute and replace all of my variables with the values. Okay, let's do that. So I have -3 times -5 plus 4 times c, c is 3, divided by 2 times b, and b is -2. All right, so what do I see at the top? Well, in the numerator, I see multiplication. So let's go ahead and let's do that first. So negative times a negative makes a positive, so that would be +15, plus 4 times 3, that's a positive times a positive, that's 12, divided by 2 times -2 is -4. All right, we have one more step to do, and that is to do the addition in the numerator, 15 plus 12. What is that? 27. Very good. Divided by -4. Now, I've said it a bunch. It's an improper fraction, leave it. As long as it's reduced to lowest terms, you're good. Okay, let's look at the last problem. I have a plus c, that's in parentheses, grouping symbols, so that means we're going to do that first. I see an exponent, that means I'm going to have to do that also. And then bd, that means multiplication. So let's replace our variables with our numbers, and let's see what we have. I have -5 plus 3, that's in big parentheses, squared, minus b. b is -2. D is 4. All right, so this looks like a lot, but parentheses, I do what's inside here first. What is inside here is a -5 and a +3. Remember, the signs are different, so what am I going to do? Subtract and take the sign of the bigger number. So that's going to give me -2 to the second power minus, and let's go ahead and let's do this multiplication right here. I have a -2 times a +4. What does that give me? -8. That's right. So now I have -2 to the second power. What does that mean? Remember, our exponents tell us multiply that number to itself. So that's a -2 times a -2. A negative times a negative is a positive. And then remember, subtraction means to add the opposite. So I'm going to change this to addition. I'm going to make this the opposite of -8, which is a +8. And then look what I have left. 4 plus 8, what is that? It is 12. All right, so we have finished Module 4, and now we're going to move on to Module 5, solving equations. So come back and visit.